Hey guys, I've been asked so many times to do this video, and so I am going to do this video because a lot of people have been saying, please do this video as much as you can. I'm going to put it in 1080 though, just because I want to make sure it's in the best quality possible. They wanted me to analyze the Darius mid played by Amihan Esports, I hope I'm saying that correctly, versus Team Secret in the grand finals of the Icon Series Philippines. Team Secret are 2-1 up at this point in time. Now, they played Darius mid for the final two games. Now, in my eyes, Darius mid can work. Before I saw this series, I thought Darius mid is a solid pick into things like Galio or things like Katarina, Akali, other melee matchups where Darius is generally going to do well. They picked Darius mid into Seraphine and then into Corki on the final game. Like, this was A, ranged versus melee matchup discrepancy, and B, like, how do you ever kill those two? They've got a slow, like, Seraphine can slow and then root you, Corki can just jump away. Like, Darius mid, really weird. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work in your solo queue games. In fact, I'm saying quite the opposite. I still think Darius mid is particularly risky. But it is clearly that Mitsura, who is playing Darius, is comfortable playing Darius mid into any matchup. And it's just very interesting to see it. So we're going to analyze it. But first of all, as I'm speaking right now, and I'm feeling a little bit emotional, really, I'm about 16 subs away from 100,000. Which is pretty crazy. I am so close to 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to be making a special 100,000 subscriber video for tomorrow. It's going to detail how my channel went from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, the games that I've covered, the milestones that I've hit. Generally just kind of look back at like the last, what has now been 4 years of YouTube. Like, it has taken me 4 years to get 100,000 subscribers. It has not been a quick process. And even now, to get from where I was when I started Wild Rift to this point has been hard as well, because obviously I covered so many games. I'm losing subscribers at the same time as gaining subscribers. So like my net gain is always a little bit lower than it potentially should be. So it's been a long old grind to get to this point. But I'm pretty much over the moon. Like, it's the goal that I wanted. I wanted to try and hit it on the auto chess year. Obviously, it's now been 2 years since auto chess because that kind of died out. My goal was with the initial growth from auto chess. I was thinking I'm going to hit 100,000 this year, but I had to go back to the drawing board and find another game and keep trying to reinvent myself on the channel, because that's what it's been like. I've had to reinvent myself so many times on the channel to continue the growth and keep trying to reach my goals. And it's been a hard one. Wild Rift has definitely been the home that I've always wanted, because I've played League of Legends for 10 years. So it's kind of been the perfect game for me. But yeah. 100,000 subscriber video tomorrow. I will also be doing an AMA. You can ask. I'm going to set up a Discord channel for you to ask me questions on my Discord. You can also ask me them on Instagram. You can ask me them on Twitter if I can try and get round to them. Any YouTube comments where you have a specific question, please just throw them down and I'll try and get round to answering them. And I'll just answer all the questions that I can and do that in a video as well. So I'm going to make a 100,000 subscriber video, and I'm going to combine that with an AMA. I'm going to try and get that done by tomorrow. If I don't get enough questions for the AMA by tomorrow, then I'll do it on Wednesday or Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday's tomorrow, so Wednesday. Okay, let's actually just talk about the video now. Then this is the Darius mid video, and again, I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you how goddamn cool this is. This is the augmented reality draft with the players on it, with the draft happening. Absolutely nutty, honestly. And then they have all the pictures of the champions ready to go. Darius balancing his axe on his face is a little bit anticlimactic, but there you go. They have this huge portal ready to jump onto the rift. This is absolutely sick. Like, whoever designed this and put this together, I think they're in Demacia or Ionia, I can't tell, one of the two, but that is just so cool. Look how cool they've done. I mean, this is just really beautiful stuff from the Icon series. I really hope Origin series gets something half as good as this, because it's amazing stuff. I'd say the lead-in time is quite long. They're doing a long, I'd almost have shown this and done like 5 to 10 seconds, and then I'd zipped through the portal. And there you go. The portal starts to open, and I'm guessing we're going to go through the portal onto Rift. This is cool. Oh, they bring up a versus screen, and that's amazing. So good. That's so good. So I've seen this a little bit, by the way. This is when they're going for a very aggressive red side invade But they've switched. Oh my god, they've switched their mid lane mid. So they've actually put their AD carry and their support in mid lane and have gone for an aggressive red side invade here, which is super interesting. Obviously, that's going to be exactly mirrored by going down towards the red buff. It looks like Treble's actually trying to go red to red here. They've gained priority back in the mid lane. So what I mean by priority is, I've got my little pen actually. What I mean by priority is they're pushing Darius in here, and that's going to allow them to go straight over to the red buff. So instead of just letting the priority in the bot lane allow Vi to go here, they've pushed Darius in so he can't respond. They've gone red buff. They've come back and pushed Darius in again, and then they've gone red to red. So this should allow Treble to 3 buff, but it looks like that Jelson is not particularly bothered. They got some good wards around the Krugs and took the Krugs because they knew that the red buff was going to be the target, and he's now just going to go back through his own jungle and start clearing camps. I think for Vi, it doesn't matter so much as long as you hit level 3. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of action at the River Scuttler, but it looks like everybody's grouping up for that, right? Although Treble is level 4 because he has got the advantage. Now, Mitsura comes through. I mean, Seraphine's a little bit late to the party right now. First blood goes over to Kai'Sa, and I think this is a bit of an overstep from Amihan. I think the idea that Amihan had here was good, and I think they maybe could have executed on it a little better, but Braum is like the ultimate support cuck. Like, once he puts that wall up, you can't really do anything. So you kind of have to wait for that wall to be down before you actually look for trades. But that's pretty interesting. And Darius is actually staying mid, it looks like. So they're trying to give Darius that solo experience. Seraphine going bot by herself is not bad because she has some of the best wave clear in the game. So like Seraphine going bot is actually pretty solid because she's able to just clear those waves consistently. But that is a huge style. Imagine Amihan's like mental at this point. Like, how do you keep yourself calm and collected in a grand finals where the enemy team is 2 up already? They only need to get 1 more win, and they've just taken an absolutely insane fight in the early game where they get 2 kills. They've just double scuttled your jungler. That's really rough to come back from. This has been actually been a relatively rough early game here from Amihan. Looks like they've actually swapped their bot lane back down bot. So this early 2-person strategy was purely to facilitate a red side invade into a red side buff to then collapse on the River Scuttler and then allow them to go for double scuttle. So it's really cool. Gain priority mid, go red buff. Come back, push mid in again, go back to your own red buff. Then group up as a unit to go for the River Scuttler. Really, it just gives your early junglers such a good start. Like, if you're able to do that consistently every game, like you're in an insane spot. But it looks like we're back to like how it's normally going to be played out here. Just we have Mitsura in the mid lane on his Darius. I'm wondering where he's going to be building. Looks like it's definitely a Triforce build because of the sheen. So we're not even going to see tank Darius. You know, considering there isn't anybody on this lineup that actually goes pure tank, we are just seeing like actual damage Darius here from Mitsura. Pretty crazy, honestly. So you can't, like, as I said, it's very difficult for mid lane Darius to punish and get onto a Seraphine. Because if you just walk at Seraphine, you're going to get locked up. And now one thing that has made mid lane Darius a little better is phase rush. If you're actually able to land those abilities, you can run at the enemy champion. But actually getting to land those abilities onto Seraphine is, I think, a little difficult. It's just very interesting that this was chosen. I'm waiting to see the reason that it was chosen. Now, I imagine it's because they put Akali into the matchup against Fiora, where Fiora beats Darius, where she doesn't beat Akali that hard, so they put Darius mid anyway. But obviously, like, he's not exactly going to kill Seraphine, so he's going to have to wait to come online, I would imagine, at the first dragon fight, depending on where we're going to get the engage coming through. Looks like there's a bit of a fight down bot lane. You can see both Trevor and Tatsuri just kind of hovering around that side of things. Trebor still has a big level advantage on his opponent, by the way. He's had such a good early jungle. Looks like they're just going to straight up start the dragon. They have the Seraphine ultimate. They have the Camille ultimate. Like, they have the really, really important ultimates. Sorry, I'm a bit tired today. They have the really important ultimates ready to go. So, you know, the team fight should be strong from Team Secret. Looks like they get the dragon. They ult in. Okay. But they get the first kill. Ult onto Zaya, who's probably going to end up dying here. Yeah, again, like, the team fight is just that good. Darius heals up huge amounts. Has the proto belt available. Will eventually end up going down. Carl's the only one that escapes with a kill. It wasn't a good fight to take. Like, you're going into Camille Seraphine, like, there's insane ultimates to have in an early team fight. Like, name me one good ultimate apart from maybe Vi and Rakan. But Vi's single target, and Rakan is not that tanky. So, and you would really only want to Rakan ultimate when your Darius and your Akali are ready to go, because that's the only thing that's going to help your Darius and Akali get onto the backline. It was a little bit too early to use the Rakan ultimate there. This is a really good start for Team Secret. However, Amihan is somehow keeping the gold lead relatively even. I imagine because we haven't had a tower go down, it's just because the CSing has been really good, or, you know, the ability to take the minions has been really good from Amihan. Because really, Team Secret should be further ahead than this with 5 kills. They're actually not that far ahead at all. Big rotate up towards the top side of the map here, but they know that they're there. Good vision. I've got to say, Team Secret, good vision control pretty much all the way across the map, just making sure all of their blind spots are covered, especially when trying to focus around these neutral objectives. Still yet to see the point of the Darius mid. I'm struggling to see what Darius is giving this team other than an AD damage threat, right? So the reason Darius is probably picked here is because they have a Kali top and she's majority AP. So the Darius provides like a kind of like a mixed damage threat. You know, we talk about mixed damage being important because it makes it harder to itemize. So like for Braum, if it was just like let's say it was like an AD top or something, or it was a tank, Braum can probably just say, cool, I'm going to go full armor this game, and Darius is screwed, Xayah screwed, Vi's kind of screwed. So they put the Darius mid with the mixed damage top, because that's going to give them a sort of a more mixed damage profile, which makes defensively itemizing a little harder. I think if you can make the Rakan ultimate work with the Darius and the Akali, you've got a lot of execute potential. Like, both of these champions, Akali and Darius, are just going to kill someone if they get on top of them. But the problem for Darius is getting on top of someone, because you're going into a Seraphine, a Braum. Like, there's so much disengage from Team Secret. Like, realistically, I don't really know how Team Secret lose this game, especially the start that they've had. They have lost the first tower of the game, though, and Carl is kind of popping right now. Nice ult, but I think oh my god, he gets out. I can't believe he gets out of that. How did he survive that? He didn't deserve to survive that. That was insane. Carl has kind of been popping. If I have a look at the gold differences right now, the big difference is kind of between Carl and Fiora. And actually, I actually think Xayah is technically ahead. So Demon's technically ahead of Chewie as well. Now this is the combo, right? Missed the ultimate. He's now going to transfer the stacks over to he's now got the bonus AD stacks. Think he might end up going down here. Nice dunk, just a try. Oh, beautiful Hextech ultimatum. That just stopped that knockup. Double kill for Trebor. That was really well played from him. Such beautiful timing on that Hextech ultimatum. But you can see the combo between the Rakan and the Darius, right? You're seeing that combo. Looks like he's now going for Dead Man's Plate. I mean, you are going against 3 AD damage dealers and really a Seraphine who's not going to burst you out if you've got the HP. So he's going for Dead Man's Plate. I mean, clearly the most important thing for Darius this game is speed. He want to be fast. So he wants to get onto the enemy as quickly as possible and then kill them like we did there. But the combo that you just saw between Rakan and Darius is how it's supposed to get played out. Doesn't have that ultimate available just yet, but it should be available by the time this fight rolls around. The Rakan ultimate being down doesn't bode massively well, but there's no Braum ultimate and there's no Seraphine ultimate, so big game-changing ultimates. Oh my god, Trebor is on fire this game. Trebor is on fire. This Camille jungle is absolutely popping off, and they've got huge priority mid with the Rift out. They're zoning them from coming away. They're not letting them come through this entrance here, and they're going to go for the engage. Okay, so Darius is out the fight. I wouldn't say the Rakan charm was very good, but Darius' dunk started. Oh my god, that proto belt in. He is popping off now. That was insane. They should have shut down the Darius before that fight even started. And you can see Mitsura will get the kill. A triple kill for Darius. That gets him right back into the game. Oh, and I'm going to pause it here because this is tilting. The sad thing was that didn't even need to happen. That fight didn't need to happen. Team Secret push this tower and they just zone. You don't care about what Aminhan are doing here. You just zone them and you take that second tier tower. and then you walk away. You've just got mid lane tower, dragon, second tier tower mid. Big gold swing in your favor. And Trebor had been so good all game, decided that it was important to force a fight in a grouped up choke point here against a Rakan, an Akali, a Darius. And all Darius did was walk away. Rakan defensively charmed. Darius built stack on the one ice. So there was one member that was isolated over here. Darius built the stacks on that isolated member over here. Proto belts back into the fight with a huge decimate. And then just gets the stacks on everybody. And then just starts dunking. And it's over. So, but the sad thing is that fight didn't even need to happen. If Team Secret had just played it safe, they could have zoned because the enemy team were already doing this, by the way, where my arrow is. They were already going. So Amahan were already going through their blue side to defend this tier 2 from up here. So the zoning didn't. I mean, everyone's bought teleport to stop this Baron, by the way. Everyone has bought teleport to stop this Baron. Oh my god, is that like 5 teleports? Did they have to sell their boots to do that, or did they just not have the upgrades in the first place? Oh my gosh. Now, depending on who sold what, I'm going to have... Should I just pause and go back and have a look? Because I think if we get to a... I don't know. Actually, it's going to be hard to find it. I don't remember what they had, but depending on who sold what for those teleports, it was good for the Baron, but now I think you now need to convert that Baron into something, right? You now need to convert that Baron into something. Looks like Jelson is going to get stopped. Trebor again. He's made one bad decision all game. Has been relatively good. That's a great flash from... I mean, I was about to say this was a bad decision. I thought it was a bad decision from Jelson, but he's actually out. That's insane. And now they're going to be able to take out Trebor on the side lanes. Got to respect Amihara. Gets stunned up. Will be kept alive by a minuscule amount of HP. And they get 2 towers in the mid lane. So probably now evening out worth it for buying all the teleports. It's the only person that didn't buy anything was the Camille who went for the spooky ghost, but she has so much mobility. Is that another sell? Is that another sell to get Azonia's back? So did they have to sell the boots to get... I mean, look how... I mean, Chewy, you've delayed your item build so hard by just selling and rebuying boots. Okay, so Mitsura gets the phase rush. He's now starting to pop off in this fight. That's the combo you're looking for into the Rakan ultimate. Rakan's ultimate is really smurf, by the way. Not enough people rate that champion, but in competitive, it works so well. And that set up Mitsura to get a little bit of initial damage off. And wow, they just found the point and executed on it. Like they just found the engage. And that's the great thing about Rakan. You can instantly catch enemy teams off guard. I might do the second game as well, by the way. I'm doing this one game, but I might do the second game because to me, this is not really telling me why Darius mid has worked. The only thing this is telling me is that they took Akali top and Darius mid maybe for mixed damage profiles. But, you know, I'm looking at this Darius hasn't suddenly... The only thing that I think's worked really well is the combination between these 3 champions. Rakan, Akali, and Darius for just individually like blowing up key targets. Like lots of squishy targets. Rakan with Darius and Akali, you're going to make short work of Seraphines, of Kaisers, even of Camille's, to be honest with you. Fiora can last a little bit longer with her riposte. But the reason I'm seeing the Darius mid is the combination between Rakan and Akali. So with the next draft, I'm going to have to look at the next draft and see where that fits in. Because the Rakan this game has been super smurf. Looks like we've got... the beginnings of a Force of Nature and also a Sterak's Gauge from Darius. So he's just going for like flat HP here. Trebor overextending. So actually, yeah, just have to be a little careful. I don't blame him here. You didn't know where anybody else was on the map, but I think there is you now have priority. Like you have permanent priority in the mid lane. You should be able to go and get priority on this Drake fight. But I actually think because why do I think this fight's going to go in favor of Amihan? It might not go in favor of Amihan, but I think it will go in favor of Amihan for a few reasons. A lot of gold was wasted on teleport boots, buying and reselling. So they don't even have a gold advantage, but they're even further behind than this gold value suggests because they bought and resold boots. If they haven't upgraded, then we don't have much utility. In terms of boot upgrades either. I think we had the Stasis and the Spooky Ghost, but there's no Redemption, there's no Locket. So teamfight utility is a little lower here for Team Secret. Also, this ultimate's up. This ultimate's up, this ultimate's up, this ultimate's up. All the ultimates are up. And yes, okay, all the ultimates are up here, but suddenly these become a little less useful because if Rakan just gets one good charm off, you open up the fight for Akali and Darius. And that's what we've been seeing in the previous fight. So let's just see how this plays out. They're playing it safe, and I don't blame them. But if Rakan can find an engage... Okay, so Darius pulls in. That starts the fight off. Darius gets locked up. Doesn't look like we've got a big charm yet, but he's looked for it there. He's onto the Seraphine. Look, Seraphine's going to die. Seraphine's going to instantly die. And she is. Darius still kept himself alive. They spent so much time trying to kill the Darius. But that was the target they didn't care about was the... was anybody else. They took the Seraphine out. Once that Seraphine ultimate's down, it's gone. And suddenly now Darius is super tanky. They invested all their resources into killing Darius, and he just survives. That now might be the Infernal Drake. I don't think they can go for the end here. You might be able to get the Inhibitor turret off this, but I don't think you can go for the end. Inhibitor turret would be a good take, and then you should probably back and start... Oh, wait, they were actually teleporting in. They're actually... You've only got 4 seconds. Darius must have sold his proto belt to teleport back in here, but he didn't need to, I don't think. Now, Baron's up, obviously. It looks like Team Secret are heading over towards the Baron pit. They haven't got vision on it. You see that the entire Team Secret roster has kind of walked through this part of the jungle. The only bit of vision was here. However, Team Secret not willing to kind of go for the 50-50, because I think they would be a little in, like it would be... a little bit of a play that would essentially throw you the game if you went for Baron and then Amihan just turned up and killed you, then you wouldn't be in a good spot. I'm going to pause it here, okay? They have sold another teleport boots to get the stasis, and I don't know if you can see underneath the red bar. Sorry about the red bar. Look at how behind this item build is. You have one completed item on Chewie. You've got one Blade of the Ruin King. You have no Runans, no Mortal Reminder, no Infinity Edge, and you're going into Infinity Edge, Static Shift, Phantom Dancer, and this. The gold difference between them is only 2,000, but you've wasted so much gold with that teleport play around the Baron. Okay, it might have kept you in the game, but no, I don't think everybody needed to teleport there. I really don't. And you have 2 major utility items, 2 stasis, and a proto belt for Darius, who I think he sold his teleport and went back to proto belt there. You're at a massive item disadvantage against almost everybody. Massive item disadvantage if you're Team Secret. And this entire play happened because they made a dumb decision here instead of just going for the tier 2. If they just went for the tier 2 and didn't take the fight in this area of the map, the Baron would have never happened. They never would have had to waste loads of gold going for teleport boots, and they wouldn't be this far behind. But now Amihan are in a really strong position. So, yeah, the main reason I'm feeling the Darius mid right now is because of the combination with the Rakan and just the ability to like sort of double up with the Akali. So this is a very early charm used, I think, to just secure them the Baron, which they do. So they use the Rakan ultimate not to look for the fight, but just to stop the Kai'Sa getting anywhere close to the Baron, and they take the Baron, which is probably a relatively sensible decision. I'm still struggling to see why Darius mid... I mean, he's 6-3 and 5. Clearly, he's done well. But honestly, I think the bigger threat has been Akali in these fights, who's 6-0-4. As well as the fact that Isaiah is 2-1-11, by the way. She's had a pretty solid game too. So I'm like... It's not something that makes like theoretical sense in my head. It's clearly working for the composition here. And my imagination would be that Mitsura is more comfortable on Darius than Karl, and maybe Karl is more comfortable on Akali than Mitsura. And they switched the Akali into the Fiora matchup, and then Darius can just go mid. I'd have to go back and see the draft order realistically. I didn't see the draft order. In fact, maybe I can pause. It's all at 8, 5, 57, 58. Let's go back and have a look at the draft order if we can. Come on, come on. Okay, so first pick, Camille. Early rotate, Darius Akali. You take Fiora and Seraphine. So the assumption is that Akali goes mid and Darius goes top. Darius doesn't want to play into Fiora. Darius just goes mid, and then Akali goes top. Cool. So to me, it was actually more that they early rotated their solo laners for some reason, and they kind of baited Team Secret into a Fiora pick or something that they thought would counter Darius, and then they just put Darius mid. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go back to the game. All right, so you already have equal priority mid because there are two ways, like both teams are pushing super minions in. It looks like we're going for a 2-2-1 split here with Jelston on the side of the map that's furthest away from his team. Mainly because he's sort of relatively high mobility. He can use his first ability to cross walls to get back into the fight quickly enough. And they're now just going to slowly push in on every lane. And this is where Team Secret... One of the big things that Team Secret doesn't really have is a really solid engage apart from Camille. And then it's not like you have like a Rakan or a Vi you can just push a button and go. Seraphine's ultimate is usually best used in the middle of a team fight. And to engage a team fight, you often sometimes lose some of the power of it. They have to now deal with Vi, but we'll already have a rotate over. Darius should be able to take the tower down easily enough. So 2 towers dropped, and they have that final tower that they can group up for. What I like about what Amihan are doing here is they're utilizing every single wave. So they're just keeping the Baron on all of the waves, even though they've taken the inhibitor towers to constantly threaten the Nexus towers as well. You can see that Team Secret, they know that they need to go for something here. They've whiffed the Seraphine ultimate, and that's now go time. Honestly, that's go time. When the Seraphine ultimate gets whiffed, you just like, you won the team fight. And they're just going to focus down the Nexus. So, Darius mid felt like a reaction to the Fiora, but it worked really well with the Rakan. So we're going to go over to the second draft now. Should we actually go through the draft together and have a look? So we're... Okay, very early. One second, sorry guys. Okay, so very early Camille. So they prioritize the Camille jungle. They've taken the Rakan away, which actually, by the way, we talked about it in the last game. The Rakan combo with the Darius Akali was super good, and I love the fact they denied the Rakan here, because I actually think the Rakan was what made this comp work. I think without the Rakan in teamfights, you're screwed. Okay? Corki, super early on. Now, I like the Corki. Not only does this do relatively well into Akali, it does relatively well into Darius mid as well. They're not showing the Fiora, so they're not going to give Amihan the clear indication that Darius should go mid in this game, okay? So this is a little bit more intelligent from Team Secret. Janna comes through. Janna is a good answer into both Camille and Rakan. I feel like you have to take the Xayah because the Rakan has been picked up here, so you kind of have to go for the Xayah in this circumstance. We'll see what the final rotation is. Okay, so they go for the Fiora again. I don't think Fiora into Akali is a particularly insane matchup for Fiora. My imagination is that they're banking on, again, having that as an option into Darius. I would, if I were Team Secret here, I would literally mirror the lane that Darius goes to with my Fiora. If I have to play Fiora mid, I play Fiora mid. I'm just going to skip this bit because it was like ridiculously long last time. Let's get into the game. All right, we're 40 seconds in. So they are going to put Darius mid again. Tatsuri, but he's being much more aggressive with Darius. We don't see that very early bot lane invade here. So we don't see that very early bot lane. We're going to a strict 2v2 here. So despite all those massive early advantages that we saw from Team Secret last time, they're not going to do the same thing this time round. We're going to have a relatively standard jungle. We're going to see, this is what we call the most standard jungle path in the game. Red into a camp, into blue, into scuttle. We're going to see red into a camp, into 2 camps actually, into blue, into scuttle. This is risky from Camille, because if for some reason that Vi decided to go for this River Scuttler, she's actually going to skip blue buff. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Actually, Vi has done that as well, by the way. Vi's gone camp, scuttle. They must have been very confident that Camille is not going to try and contest this, because you do have the priority mid lane. So Vi actually gets away with this. Her clear speed's a little quicker than Camille's, so she can do it more easily because you're able to get a lot more damage off. She's actually going to go for the invade. And by the way, we're going to be looking at a jungler that hits level 5 just after 2 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. A jungler hitting level 5 just after 2 minutes. They nerfed jungle experience, just so you know. Level 5 at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Your laners have only just hit level 4. These laners are still level 3. They apparently nerfed jungle experience, and you can still get level 5 by 2 minutes. So I'm going to have a bit of a rant here, guys, okay? In the PC League of Legends, a lot of power is gated behind ultimates. So, for instance, Rengar is not particularly good in PC League of Legends because it takes you a very long time to get level 6, which is when you unlock your ultimate in PC League. In this game, Rengar's clear speed is very quick, and before any action has happened in the lane, 2 minutes into the game, before anything meaningful has happened in the game, you're already level 5. So you're past the point in the game where you're useless, and you're now actually useful. And that's the same thing with Vi and Camille, to be honest. There's a reason that these junglers that wouldn't traditionally work that well in PC League of Legends work much better in Wild Rift. It's because you can go only 2 minutes into your game and you're level 5 already. And so that's also the reason, as you can see here for Darius, right? The reason that like some laners that would have traditionally been not so strong in League are stronger in Wild Rift is because you can actually just get to the point where they're strong super quickly. The early laning phase doesn't really exist in this game. So whenever you talk about bad lane matchups, it doesn't matter about that bad, like especially early bad lane matchups pre-level 5. That doesn't matter too much because you can get past that phase in the game really quickly. One of the other reasons that, you know, traditionally, a Corki should absolutely shaft a Darius in the mid lane. But Honey Fruit exists. And also, when you back, it's so quick to get back to lane, you can often back and not even miss a wave. In PC League, if you're playing Corki into Darius mid, there's no Honey Fruit. You burn all his pots. He's sat on his tower at a quarter HP. If he backs, he often misses up to 2 waves. Maybe 2 waves, at least 1. So there isn't really any disadvantage in bad lane matchups or bad junglers who need their ultimate to be useful because you can get your ultimate so quickly in this game. And you see here, like Darius it's not that big of a deal that he has to take a load of damage here because A, he has the Honey Fruit, but B, he can just back. I mean, look how quickly he's going to get back to lane if he backs here. Sprints out the base. He might not even lose a minion. I mean, he might lose 1, but it's going to be like negligible the amount of experience that he misses just for going back to base. There we go. Way too early use in the riposte for Fiora, and Amihan get the lead. Team Secret's mental must be in the dirt here because they lost what should have been an unlosable game in the previous match. And it's all because of that little dive that happened over on this side of the map. I actually do feel kind of bad for them, I'm not going to lie. I actually do feel kind of bad for them. So, as you can see, without jungle pressure, Corki's not able to punish Darius enough. I mean, this matchup's never going to be Darius favored, by the way. Throughout the entire game, if this laning phase went to 10 minutes, which doesn't traditionally happen, this matchup would never be Darius favored because Corki can get out of Darius's grasp too easily. But like, Darius is just chilling. Like he's had no jungle pressure from Camille, so Camille hasn't been able to punish him. And he's just happy farming. Like, he's just chilling, he's farming, he's going towards his Triforce. He does not care. First dragon has been picked up here. Now, I think with Amihan, their team fight is a little worse this time round. There isn't really a good way to set the Darius up, so you have to rely a bit more on Darius's phase rush and positioning to make this work. Now, they do get the jump on the first dragon, and it looks like we're going to see a cross-map trade for Team Secret. So Team Secret are attempting to just force down the top tower on the top side of the map here. But Akali should be able to defend this. And this was honestly, a little poorly thought out from Team Secret. You can't hard force versus a full HP Akali. You have to kill the Akali and then force afterwards. It would have been better for Corki to take the package top and then for them to try and go for a tower dive with the Camille ultimate. Because now Amihan are going to lose out on the bottom side of the map here as well. They're being zoned away because the Darius hasn't shown himself. Darius has now shown... I mean, they're going for the tower dive, but it's way too late. Like, this should have happened 30 seconds ago, and now you've already had the rotate from the Janna. Like, that was just way too late. If Corki went to farm mid, he had the package. If they'd done that previously, they might have been, when everybody was at the Dragon, they might have been able to get the first tower of the game. Now, Jelson tries to go for a big play on the bot side of the map, but Darius is rotating down, and everyone again on Team Secret's a little too slow. Like, Mitsuri is here. It's going to be a redemption coming through. I mean, they don't care. They just want the tower. They get the kill. I think Darius is going to stop. Oh, he ults the wrong target, but it doesn't matter. Treble's dead anyway. Doesn't have ultimate. Don't go near the wall, Jelson. Okay, he's fine. I mean, this game has just been Team Secret too slow. Too slow to act. Too slow to dive top tower and get the first tower of the game. Too slow to react to Darius rotating bot. And they lose first dragon and first tower. And now they are 4,500 gold behind, which is pretty grim, honestly. So some big item spikes getting hit. The Lichbane is there for Akali. I love that we're seeing Lichbane first for Karl. That's interesting. Just a lot more single target burst damage. Which I guess with the Darius, that's your point, right? The point of Akali and Darius this game is to kill people, like individual targets, like the Corki and the Kai'Sa. I think they're going to catch Chewie here. They can go for a tower dive so easily. Chewie's dead. Chewie hasn't had a great series so far. Last game, he was way further behind than he needed to be because of that weird teleport play shenanigans. Like, he had one completed item at like 16 minutes into the game, which is just ludicrous. And they're going to get this this tower free. Now, Karl's looking for... I think you can kill Azar really easily here. Okay, this is one of the reasons that Akali's good into Camille, by the way. Camille uses Hextech Ultimatum. You just use your Shroud, and what's anybody going to do about it? If you don't have a way of revealing Akali, can't do anything about it. Another tower picked up here for Amihan. To be honest with you, again, the only reason I'm seeing Darius mid here is because they wanted to first pick two solo laners that can go. I mean, yeah, he's just that far ahead now. He can do that. The only reason I'm seeing Darius mid is because they first rotate two solo laners that, as we can see from here, can very easily go into Baron lane and mid lane. So Akali can go mid or Baron. Technically, Darius is generally Baron, but obviously Amihan have shown that they can flex in mid. And because of all the ways you have to negate poor matchups in the mid lane, like Darius has a bit of healing, he can go, he has the honey fruit, it's a short lane to get back to if you have to back. Like, he's shown that it doesn't matter how bad the matchup is for him, he can easily weather the storm. And he's going for the same build as last time, so no changes there. Two items already picked up for the Kai'Sa. So the Infinity Edge Static Shiv, which has been the very popular build for Kaisers over in Southeast Asia. Looks like we have a Executioner's Calling picked up. When you're seeing this a lot, by the way. Why are you picking up Executioner's Calling? My only guess is that you're picking up Executioner's Calling for the Fiora and the Blade of the Ruined King on the Kai'Sa, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I mean, the only thought process is that Jelson is going to ult Chewie every time, and he wants to negate the Blade of the Ruined King. I don't even think Chewie's got Blade of the Ruined King finished, but I guess it's anticipating it. Oh my god, that's a feels bad, man. There's the phase rush starting to stack up. He's going to get full stacks. Dunks him down. I don't think the Camille dies here, actually. Get back in the healing. Get back in the healing. Oh, he can't because the package. But it doesn't matter because the rest of his team's followed up. And honestly, it was just, again, just preying on a team that was a little bit... They don't know how much vision the Amihan Esports have got in their jungle. And B, they're just completely all over the place now. You can see that they're not playing on the same page, Team Secret, at this point in time. Their rotates have been slow. They haven't been grouped up. I think I hate picking Fiora and not using her as a pure split pusher. I know Fiora can team fight in this game, clearly, but I just feel like to really make use of Fiora, you have to be using her to split push as much as possible, but they weren't able to do so because Akali stayed top for the first dragon of the game, and again, Team Secret were just not on the map quick enough, and this has been the story of this final game. Team Secret have just not been on the map quick enough at the right places at the right time. My complete verdict from the Darius mid is it's not some kind of insane OP pick. It's used competitively for Amihan because they can potentially flex it between the two players and send one top, send one mid. Or it's just baiting out bad matchups or good matchups for Akali in the mid lane. Because Darius, frankly, unless it's a Katarina, a Diana, a Galio, or whatever, Darius doesn't really have any good matchups. This is not, you didn't see Darius in the laning phase kill his opponent like 1v1. There aren't many good matchups in the mid lane for Darius. However, like my thought process is that it's trying to bait Karl into getting a good matchup on the top side of the map, which last game clearly he excelled at. This game he hasn't obviously had that much opportunity, but he did a great job of clearing that top lane wave and protecting the tower. And then I guess you can transition into a 1-3-1 like they are now, with Akali in a side lane and Darius in a side lane, because you have a strong solo laner here and a strong solo laner here. But like I said, I'm not going to suddenly, despite what the title of or the thumbnail of this video might say, I don't think Darius mid is OP. I just think it's worked specifically for Amihan based on what they needed or what they were trying to draft competitively. And I think it worked much better with the Rakan. They were were able to get a much better early game because of honestly some mistakes from Team Secret. But I think if Team Secret played the same way they did last time, that's a big engage here. And they steal it. Oh, that's so big from Trebor. So huge. I mean, if they die here, it doesn't matter, right? If they die here, it does not matter. You get the Baron. That is a big, big steal from Trebor. Like, don't overextend here. Don't get caught. It doesn't matter. Oh, no. I think Tatsuri might be dead. They're gonna look to make a flank happen here. You can use the blast cone if he wants to. Tatsuri knows he's dead here. Ah, they were so greedy, Team Secret. You were so greedy. You could have got that mid lane tower whenever you wanted. You had Baron. You could have got it whenever you wanted. Now you've just got a Baron on Kai'Sa, and that's wasted the steal. Honestly, that's wasted the steal. Great stuff from Amihan to cut them off down here, knowing that they could chase them down with Darius' dead man play, and now you're losing gold with Baron, which is never a good look. 10,000 gold in the lead, or just under 10,000 gold in the lead for Amihan. Win conditions for Team Secret clearly are get late game, because that's the only thing they've got. Like good late game, good late game, good late game, good late game, good late game. Like every single one of the champions on their team has a really good late game, but you're going into an incredibly oppressive setup now from Amihan. Like Rabadon's death cap finished up for the Ahri, nearly got a Rabadon's for the Janna, which is going to make anybody who gets her shield stronger and also receive more shielding. The Darius going for a similar build to last game with the Proto Belt. It looks like Zaya's gone for the Proto Belt as well. I'm actually seeing way more AD carries pick up Proto Belt. Yeah, there you go. Proto Belt's onto the... Yeah, just dead. Think this one might be over for Team Secret, guys. I don't really see a good way they stall this one out. Not versus the engage that you've got coming through from Amihan. Like, you just need to click the Vi ultimate. You just need to catch someone off guard with a Proto Belt Darius. And for Team Secret, like, you only have... This time you have even worse engage. I mean, you've got the Rakan, but Rakan just dies to... If he tries to go for the engage, he just gets Vi ulted and dies. Third dragon in the game picked up for Amihan. You somehow have to stall this out. You have to stall this out and get to late game for Team Secret. There's no other way. No other way that you win this. Karl's too far ahead. Mitsura's too far ahead. Jelson has been popping off this game as well. He's done a really good job. Your AD carry has a 4,000 gold lead. Still only one completed item at 14 minutes into the game for Chewy, which has honestly been rough for him on this Kai'Sa. Has been really rough. 0-3-0 has not had the best of games. Amihan are just one game away from winning the Filipino Icon Series. Mitsura almost caught out Trebor there. Another Baron is spawning in 30 seconds. Now, that would be a game ender for Amihan. Something that I think Team Secret would just have to basically do or die for. Maybe go for another steal. Potentially try and land some ridiculous team fight. But I don't see a good way. I think if you're Amihan, you just rotate. You create this pressure in the side lanes like you're doing now. You rotate everybody over to this Baron and you just go for it. You can see the Team Secret are posturing for this. They need to. But they're essentially they've got no vision in their blue side jungle. They're blind checking their blue side, which is very risky versus a team that you don't want to walk into. Like, imagine walking into a Darius this fed or a Vi, and you can see how nervous they are about it. Trebor's waiting. I mean, Trebor's just dead. They had to check. This is the sad thing. They had to check. Almost goes down. You can see Mitsura just leading the charge here. Beautiful pull. Gets a nice decimate off. They're going to take out Chewy. This will be the end of the game, surely. Surely the end of the game, they just need to get that minion wave pushing in. You can buy some teleports and finish this one off. Honestly, really interesting to have this draft strategy coming through from Amihan. Do I think it was a difference maker? Yeah, some of the engages from Darius were insane. Oh, well, that's heartbreak for Team Secret. Look at them go. Look at the lads go. Bless them. They're so happy. They're so happy. They're showing this, the victory screens. Oh, that's so lovely for them. Honestly, that's so lovely. Oh, bless. He looks like he's crying. Oh my gosh, he looks like he's crying. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, well done, guys. Oh, you could see how much it meant to them. You can see how much it meant to them. That was so good from them. Really well played. Yeah, it was really interesting. I'd love to hear their thoughts. I don't know if they ever published their thoughts on the Darius mid, but it felt like it was a draft strategy more than an actual comp strategy. But you saw that it's very hard to punish Darius. Like, he could, with Honey Fruit and being able to get back to the mid lane so quickly, even in a bad matchup, it's very difficult for him to get punished. And then you combo with the Akali Rakan Darius is an insane combo, like for single target burst damage. And then eventually Darius just goes proto belt hook for the engages, which is really nice. But it didn't feel like the Darius mid was OP. Like it just worked well for the way that Amihan wanted to draft, and it also, you know, it baited Team Secret into matchups top lane that either made their comp kind of bad, or it just meant that Akali had a better time of it. So that's my personal opinion on the Darius mid. I don't think it's like this absolutely insane pick that is just like should be played every single game. Anyway, guys, we covered 2 games here. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow, 100,000 subscribers. I think I might hit it today. I'm pretty excited. Silver play button. I'm over the moon, really. Let's have a good next few months.